If I were Tony P, I would rule him away from ringside, but that's just me.
Just you. I think Tony P's got firm control of this situation. We'll see how much Rich Bass gets involved, but right now, Trigga, the OG, lining up. Kellan, we've seen these two go head-to-head many a times before. Have they learned anything new? And for how long will it go for? That's the real question.
You know, John, I'm not a gambling man, but if I were to put any money on this bout, I would bet that these two are going to take their time. They know one another inside and out. You're talking about a pair of adversaries that are so familiar with each other that they could tag up on the same team if they really wanted to.
If they wanted to, they could, but I don't think either man has a desire to stand in the same corner with the other, as they just put leverage on each other's heads. Trigga getting the advantage, backing Kellan up into that corner.
Tony P forces a clean break between these two contenders. Rich Bass, ever the antagonist, remaining a thorn underneath the skin of Kellan Thomas. It's going to be a factor in this matchup, I guarantee you that. I don't know how his manager's license hasn't been revoked yet. I really don't.
Is it an official manager's license?
I didn't think about that.
Rich Bass, you know? Notary public in a back alley somewhere.
Not your average librarian, but look at the savvy on Trigga now, keeping himself locked. Oh, beautiful counter into a pin. Getting a hold of that heel. Very well done. And again, you talk about how well these two know one another, just what it's going to take for the other to slip. I think this is going to be a marathon. I think it's going to be a matter of stamina. Who can go the longest? Who can withstand the longest? Who's going to keep their head in the game the longest? You know, Kellan has no one but himself to rely upon. And a guy like that, you really don't want to back into a corner because you're going to see him at his best and at your worst.
You see, this is where they know each other very well. Trigga trying to get out of the way. Kellan hooking that opposite leg inadvertently. Ended up on the wrong side of town. But his intentions were good.
Nice wrist lock applied. Kellan now creates just a little bit of space and counters and reverses.
To the arm drag from almost a hammerlock, not quite.
And again, look at Trigga now.
On the ropes.
Bought himself just a little bit of time.
As Rich Bass parades around the ring with the XWA title. The heavyweight title. Rich Bass, proud manager of both champions here in the XWA.
I take nothing away from his championship prowess. He is currently managing two of the more finer athletes in the region. You know, but you just got to wonder, are those legitimate title reigns? You know, they're not without controversy.
Well, I mean, a title reign is a title reign. It's down on the books. It's on the walls. Either way, he's got there, if there's an asterisk next to it or not. But right now, Trigga cutting down Kellan Thomas.
Takedown for takedown, hold for hold. These two are still in a very textbook style of match, if you ask me. Things have not really broken wide open. Trigga now reverses the pressure, but he ends up on his back anyway. Thomas has all of the tactics scouted, and Trigga makes his way to the arena yet again. Taking a breather, taking a moment to catch himself, to collect his thoughts, maybe recenter. Kellan Thomas has his opponent trapped in the crosshairs.
A little too close to that ring, Trips. Kellan kicks him off into the announce table. followed by a big left, right, followed by the left. The fans clear the way of the guardrails.
And things are going to start getting crazy, folks. You're talking about the richest prize of the XWA currently up for grabs in this matchup, the winner of which will claim said prize.
Fans firmly behind Kellan, as always, here at the XWA.
The hard shot into those metal barricades. Both men looking to gain any kind of advantage they can. But Trigga, we know who he is. We know how he gets down. He fights first and he wrestles second. So this is just within the wheelhouse. This is just within the nature of Trigga the OG.
Right in his wheelbase. Can't quite see what's going on over there. Guardrails coming into play.
We can't see that Rich Bass is tying up Tony P, buying Trigga plenty of time out in the arena area.
I see Kellan holding himself up against those guardrails. Trigga across the building. Where is he going? He's getting speed, and he catches him with the boot. Never tell what they're doing up there.
Trigga the OG's buying himself some time as well. He creates some space. He's looking to get some velocity. I think he's going to charge into it. A neutered Kellan Thomas.
Number 2. Neutered, brain dead, whatever you want to call it. He connected.
We just beat the bag out of him for the past minute and a half, and he's got him trapped in that barricade, probably wedged in some way, shape, or form. I know he had plenty of time as Tony P and Rich Bass were tied up with one another earlier on. And Trigga now again creates some space. Ooh. And takes a very uncomfortable seat.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus! H. Christo. Both men disappearing into the crowd. Can't quite tell. Tony P can't get there fast enough to check on him, but I hope everybody's alive. Waiting on a signal. How we looking, Rich Bass? How we looking? I'm asking, are they all right?
Well, I can see Kellan Thomas has gotten to his feet. It seems as if Trigga the OG has done the same. And they're taking the fight back to the arena.
Holy moly.
Kellan Thomas knows he can't win this match on the outside. And he's not going to give Trigga the OG the easy way out. He knows the kind of person he is.
Riot on his feet. Trigga on the ground. Oh, jeez, big chop. Followed by an elbow right to the side of the head of Kellan. And into the stairs. Almost taking out Rich Bass in the process.
Oh, God, if only.
Oh, God, no. This isn't a no DQ match.
I think it's slowly becoming one. And Tony P hasn't disqualified anyone for the use of the steel stairs. Takes a little bit too long. Does Trigga the OG. Tony P manages to get that weapon away from him. But not until a big back body drop takes place.
Right onto the ground. Not much softness to those pads. Solid rubber.
And again, he's got himself a steel chair. Has no business being in this kind of a matchup. There are no disqualifications. This is not a no disqualification matchup.
Sends him off. Kellan now. Second behind. Trigga sends him through. Guts him. Oh, it's the drop kick. Trigga going for the pin. 1, 2. Kellan kicking out. 2.
And Tony P issues a timekeeper the warning that this match will still continue. Just a 2 count taking place. 10 minutes have transpired, have gone by. Kellan Thomas is not looking so good right now, John Roy.
Not at all. Oh, Trigga's got those suspenders coming off. You know what that means?
Means he's losing his patience.
Losing his pants, losing his patience, losing everything. Well, arguing with the ref isn't going to get you any points there.
No, but it's going to bypass a couple of minutes to get his cheap shots in.
I can't quite tell what's going on the floor there.
I can tell. How can you not tell?
Well, you're at a different angle than me,
I'm
dummy.
5 feet tall, 6 feet wide. How can you not see what's taking place?
I'm sitting behind these ugly fans.
Oh, come on. Kellan Thomas has just been mugged, for Christ's sake.
Can Kellan get back to his feet? He's on his knees now. Chair in the ring. We know what Trigga usually does with that as he stuffs it into the corner. Unfortunately for Trigga, we've seen a 50-50 chance success rate here. Is he going to send Kellan into the chair? Will he eat it himself once again? Looks like Kellan stops himself. Trigga eats the elbow. Both men dazed and confused. Quick little kick to the midsection. Kellan has him up in that fireman carry. Shot to the jaw. Both men on their last breath of gasoline. Kellan getting that shoulder up.
But this is Kellan Thomas, though. This is not just your average XWA wrestler. This guy's got more heart and soul than most. I think only rivaled by maybe Joey Bones. Kellan Thomas is a man completely revitalized. This is a guy who once gave up on himself.
I'm sure the XWA Championship would mean the world to Kellan, as he was once the Firebrand champion, going between the two, exchanging that title. Could the future hold the same thing?
Ripcord Gator roll into the Falcon's arrow. Kellan Thomas.
Trigga 2. No! Trigga kicking out at 2. Not the end of the match yet.
Trigga the OG still seated in the middle of the ring. There's nowhere for him to go. Few kicks to the temple, and he breaks the hold applied by Kellan Thomas. The straps are coming down.
Oh! Again, only a 2 count. Neither man picking up the win.
For those of you keeping score at home, this match is just now reaching the 15-minute mark. And I'd say these guys are tied at about 2 pinfalls apiece.
Trigga lining him up, but Kellan, being your resident Iron Man, Not stopping.
Deep hook of the leg on that pin. You can see he's trying to put away the current champion. He's reaching that point now. Yes, he's an Iron Man. He is the type of guy that can and will go 30-plus minutes with J.D. Drake. So in my opinion, he's got all of the potential in the world to win this title for himself.
He didn't like that chair. Trigga out of the way. Kellan rolling through, picks him back up. Over the back with a schoolboy. Hard kick to the head. No!
Still after a standing moonsault, Kellan Thomas continues to fight through all of Trigga's offense.
Is it getting hot here? Or is it just this match, Bob?
I say a little bit of A, a little bit of B. I don't think Trigga's been tested like this in quite a while.
Just getting it tonight. They're both going to learn tonight. Trigga going to that top rope. But Kellan getting up in time, stopping him. Rich Bass suits off. Hook and fighting on that top rope. Which man will prevail? Dangerous territory. It's like shark-infested waters.
Kellan Thomas now gets fought off.
Using the referee as a shield. Tony P caught in the action once again tonight. Fetal position, Tony. Fetal position. Oh! He eats the elbow. Sorry, Tony. I guess your victory tonight makes up for that.
Wait a minute. No, hold on a minute. I don't think Tyler Calloway's still in the building.
Oh!
Calloway's still, he's not in the building anymore. Tony's our only official. And he was just decked inadvertently by Kellan Thomas with a hellacious elbow. Trigga the OG now ascends that top buckle.
With a chair in between, but he rolls out of the way. Trigga lands right on his keister. Drop toe hold. Float over into that headlock.
There's no one here to count this. Trigga the OG has just tapped out. Kellan is technically a new champion, but there's no referee to count this.
Kellan thinks he's got it.
Kellan does have it.
There's no referee. He doesn't have it. God. I got mad at the table, Bob. The referee's the one that's knocked out.
If there was another referee handy, we would have a new champion right now. Oh, look at this. This rotten son of a goat. Get out of the ring, Bass. Oh, hey, nothing. Oh, tear him apart. Please. I'll make sure there's more in your envelope if you kill him.
Is he throwing him out? What's the word, Tony? What's the word? Oh, jeez.
Oh, behind the back, Trigga the OG employs the use of the XWA title. It's like 10 pounds of steel. Not like this.
Just like that.